Namaskar. Here we are back again with another episode of Career Corner. And this time, interestingly, our focus shall be on the newest trends and possibilities, potential areas in the field of engineering and technology. We shall not be delving too much into the history of it. We shall focus on today and tomorrow. Yes, we had several episodes on engineering earlier, which dealt with the past and its evolution quite extensively. But we have with us an interesting gentleman who has a huge consulting background and today is shaping, is supporting, is helping grow the Engineering and Technology School of Adamas University, Kolkata. I have with me Mr. Pradip Bhowmick, the Vice President, Chancellor's Office, Adamas University, Kolkata, who shall be talking to us about the latest areas of developments in the field of engineering and technology. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bhowmick, and thank you for your time.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. We move with this first thing itself. Engineering and technology, these two fields and these two words have always been uttered together, but surely there is a line of difference. So how would you differentiate between engineering and technology to begin with, just as a common sense?
Sure. I think that's a very interesting question. When we look at engineering and technology, when we usually say it together, However, when we talk about technology, our focus is lot more on the hands-on aspects,
right,
the project aspects, and of the particular study, line of study. Whereas engineering is which is the basic fundamental, the science behind all of it, right?
Right.
So, and then we top it up with the technology aspects, which are the project aspects and the hands-on aspects.
So engineering is the science, the rational, the process, and technology is the product that the people use, the consumer end uses. Engineering is the profession and technology is the outcome of that profession which people use. Wow, that's good. And the School of Engineering, first of all, let me say that more than 3,000 engineering colleges are there in the country. Some of them are as old as maybe a century, some of them are a few decades, and post 2000 there has been a plethora of colleges also coming up. But in recent times there has been challenges in the education of engineering. There are certain technological innovations required, there are certain, so in this whole challenging atmosphere of a large number of providers of engineering education and a huge amount of challenges and changes in the industry per se, where do you think the courses that you offer in the School of Engineering and Technology at Adamas University, where do they stand? How should engineering be taught differently, in brief, if you could tell that?
Absolutely. That's something that has been going on in our minds and almost in the educator's mind, the engineering educator's mind for quite some time. And like following the global trends of the change that has happened in engineering and technology study, we have also taken a complete revamp of how we have structured our engineering programs as of now. To start with, our programs, we can go into two tracks when you first come and choose from the bouquet of offerings that we have. When I say two tracks, I mean you can go the pure engineering and technology track, or you can go to the bioengineering track. So you have two options to choose from. That is number one. Number two, based on that, we have options of your 4-year BTech program. We have options of a 2-year MTech program depending on the level of study you are doing. We have an option of 3-year BCA program, a 3-year BSc in computer science program, and a 2-year MCA program. So these are the different programs that are in offer. What we have done is that we have broken up the engineering study into two layers. The first layer is what we typically and traditionally know as the vanilla engineering study. So if you are choosing computer science, choosing to study computer science, you have a vanilla computer science study, and on top of that vanilla layer of the study, engineering study, we are providing a number of optional add-ons. What are those? First one is you can choose from one of the many specializations that we have created. For example, specializations like artificial intelligence and machine learning, specializations like design engineering, specializations like smart infrastructure and smart cities, so on and so forth. or you could actually choose a minor program. For example, if you are doing a mechanical engineering program, you could do a minor in computer science. If you are doing a computer science program, you could do a minor on biotechnology as an example. Similarly, if you the third option that you can actually have is to do a diploma on management. So these are the three options that you can take out of the on top of the vanilla program. So that is on the pure program definition part. Following that, what we have is that we have introduced in the course curriculum number of very interesting aspects. The first aspect is what we are referring to as the capstone project. Now, what is a capstone project? A capstone project is a project that runs through like 5 semesters in our case. A big project which, when broken part by part across different semesters, the students learn in a step-by-step process and experience hands-on in one of these projects, right? Now, one of the 3 different capstone projects that are being offered now are electric vehicles, drones or aerial robotics, and smart cities. These are the 3 different projects that students can experience from. So this is another choice the student has when they choose one of the engineering programs right here with us. Beyond that, the different programs that we have are within the program, the different courses that we offer. One of the very interesting things is what we are referring to as the Beautiful Mind project. The Beautiful Mind project is a self-learning project. This is where the students who are interested in learning programming, who are interested in to understand and go into detail into the different aspects of programming, can actually experience that hands-on through this particular lab. So this is another very interesting subject. We have balanced our engineering studies. What we are referring, typically we refer the engineering studies as the STEM studies, right? STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics. That's the core of engineering, right? Engineering studies. On top of that, we have added aspects of arts to it. So we are basically calling it STEM plus A. Now, how we have structured that is that we have incorporated elements of elements of A into the studies. For example, we have incorporated elements of design. We have incorporated elements of what we are referring to as the emotional quotient development in the studies itself. We have incorporated elements of the social responsibility development, right? So we want the students to develop social responsibility on top of their core understanding while they become an engineer. So these are all the different options that a student has when they choose to study engineering at Adamas University.
Great. That actually develops the concept of engineering education from a premise of very basics of engineering into a completely different scenario, and this complete different scenario is a lot of value added inputs, value added concepts that are being added to traditional engineering, or what you have called as vanilla engineering. A lot of value added things, and undoubtedly the last few minutes of what you have spoken with regards to the value additions in engineering education makes it stand apart in a class of engineering colleges across the country. A few things that you have said very categorically, and I'd like to take them with a little more details. One of the key things that happens today is there is no lifetime career. There are careers and careers within and careers beyond. The reason is that the economy and technologies are changing so fast. People evolve from one career to the other beyond decades in work life, and therefore learning to learn becomes significant. And from that perspective, because many of the things that technologies that we learn today will be obsolete 5 years, 7 years down the line, and therefore there has to be an ability to self-learn new technologies and new concepts, and therein this concept of beautiful mind comes very handy. If you could explain a little bit more on what the concept of beautiful mind is.
Absolutely. So this is something that is very interesting, that has been introduced very recently. So it is in form of a parallel learning program. So let's assume that you are studying a BTech in mechanical engineering or computer science, any of the fields of study. Parallel to doing your program, this is a parallel branch of study which happens through what we are referring to as a self-learning module. Why we are doing this? Because the whole concept of learning to learn. Now, why are we saying learning to learn? So, if you look at 4 years down the line after you finish off your engineering study, you go to the industry, right? And in the industry, you are given a task. In the initial days, there is a mentor who would give some guidance, but generally speaking, more than 80% of the work that we will need to do, you will need to apply yourself. You will need to approach the problem in such a manner, find out how to do it. You have to do a lot of self study, lot of self motivated work needs to happen out there, right? So, in order to do that particular work. So, this is what the industry requires you to do. So, we are trying and we have created an environment along with your core engineering study, which is instructor driven, of course, where you get an opportunity to practice this, practice your your interest areas. And I will take an example. There was a student recently who had, in one of the interviews that was happening, who asked that, is there an opportunity for me to study the the Golang, which is the Google language, right? You are aware of it. That he has that interest in that particular domain. Or are all such languages possible to be taught in the instruction based model in a engineering education? No. The fundamental ones, the most important ones, for example, Python is taught in the main program. But what about those other areas where you have interest, you personally have interest? So, what we have done, we have created this interesting program, which is a step by step program, whereby it's gamified, it's like a game. You move from one level to the other, you get a certificate, you move to the next level, you get another certificate, and then the total duration is about 18 months or so, and by the end of it you reach what is called the master level. So, you get a master certificate by the end of it, right? So, you get to choose from 6 different areas, it's application development, you can choose from systems based software development, you can choose from artificial intelligence based projects, you can choose from mobile and web development and IoT programming. So, you can get all these different experiences, you can choose any one of these learning path, you can pick up any of the languages or the software development skills that interests you, and there are different projects that are created which builds on one top of the other, right? And that is how by the end of it, by those end of these 18 months, you can, if you finish all those different steps and get the master certificate, you will be in front of the industry with a lot of confidence, with a lot of knowledge and lot of good understanding about that particular learning path.
And the best thing is that you learn it as you grow, you learn it along with all other regular courses, and you learn it all by yourself. And to develop that capacity of learning, the institute creates an environment where learning to learn becomes a live experience and not just a concept to be discussed. Great, that's an interesting thing that you have brought in. This capstone project, that there is one overarching project that a youngster takes up in engineering, whether he is in mechanical or civil or electrical or electronics or computer science, obviously, in any of the 5 areas, takes up a capstone project that evolves over 5 semesters. What's this capstone project? Give examples of the same, and how does it help to evolve or to upgrade the standard of their resume and CV, upgrade their standard of their skills, and what benefit do they have when they get into the job market or into the industry itself? Capstone project, sir.
Yeah, the capstone project is a term that we would usually hear when we hear about the programs that are offered in the foreign universities most of the time. Now, you would also hear that quite a bit in many of the Indian universities who are creating those capstone projects. Now, what is a capstone project? A capstone project is basically a big project that completes your learning when you are actually going through a particular program. So, that's the general definition of it. Now, how we have customized it for us. So, we have taken 3 different options for that. So, the first one is an automated electric vehicle, the second one is aerial robotics or drones as we popularly know it, and the third one is a smart city. So, these are the 3 capstone project options. So, going back a little bit as to why we have chosen that, we all know that typically the other professional studies areas, if I like doctors, chartered accountants and such other studies, they have significant amount of time dedicated into what is called the actual hands-on learning, being at the industry, right at the client's place, right in front of the exactly doing hands-on work. So they really study and understand that by experiencing it. For engineers, historically it has been very very short period of time. Typically the nowadays the whole final semester in many universities is given for this hands-on industry based experience, but typically it is those 2 to 3 months that gets focused during the summer breaks and stuff like that, right? What we have done is that we have said that we have realized that anyway remains, that anybody, all of you will experience at the industry, at the different corporates while you go through the program. However, we realize that we need to increase the amount of time which you require to do hands-on work. We experience how you do the work and what exactly happens when you study what we study in theories, right? So we have created these 3 projects, as I said: automated electric vehicles, aerial robotics or drones, and smart cities. In each of these projects, over a period of 5 semesters, as and when you keep on learning different aspects of the engineering study in your own departmental area, in the theories, you will get to apply into one of these projects. We take an example of automated electrical vehicles. After the 5 semesters, you would have applied your understanding of what you have learned in theories into actually creating something hands-on. At the end of 5 semesters, you will have created an automated electric vehicles, which works in a driverless manner, which uses multiple aspects of artificial intelligence, through which you will learn all these different aspects: automobile design, battery technology, Internet of Things, but through sensors and connectivity, satellite positioning. All of these aspects are some of the things that you will know step by step as you actually move on. The other interesting aspect of this particular project is that this, as I said, this starts in the first semester itself, right? No, second semester, first year.
It goes through till the end.
It goes through till the end, as in for all the 5 semesters. This also gives you an interesting opportunity of self-discovery. Let's assume you have taken computer science in the first year. You have chosen to do computer science. While starting to do this project, after the first semester, after the second semester and the first block of this particular project, you realize that your knack and the real interest lies in the areas of IoT, in the areas of robotics, in the area of sensors. You might actually do this because this is basically a process of self-discovery, right? Okay. You have realized that, well, I have taken computer science, I might actually take electives in these areas, or I might just change over to an ECE area, electronics and communications engineering, exactly, right? So this is a self discovery that happens. Some of the interesting things that you would run, I spoke about automated electric vehicles. If you are choosing to do the one on smart cities, you get to do some very interesting projects, like projects on smart pole. So one smart pole, smart poles, like you have seen in smart cities, a lot of the smart cities, in many of the cities there are street lights, which are not only street lights but also capture environment data, also disseminate and do the communication around many things. There it captures a lot of pollution data, etc., etc. And then you get to do project work around waste management and vehicle tracking as well. So a lot of these interesting projects, small projects is what makes up one big capstone project for us.
Some other examples of capstone project, automated vehicle apart?
Yes. So talk about drones as well, for example. So drones or aerial robotics is the third possibility which is there. As you know, aerial robot is basically nothing but a system which is capable of sustained flight with or without direct human control, right? So you get to actually experience all these things. You do get an introduction of how the mechanics of this flight happens. The design of such, the 4 motor, what is called the quadrator flying robots. You get to know the design and how they fly and how they maintain balance and so on and so forth. You develop the dynamic models in the 3-dimensional environment. You get to learn all of that. So you use, through this capstone project, you get the opportunity to actually use an aerial robot and in applications which are, in today's world very essential. Like, for example, you can do surveillance using aerial robots. You can actually use aerial robots for logistics and delivery. So you can do all of these things and you get to experience some of this through our capstone projects.
Hey, welcome to Adamas. My research is on my way. I am very much proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Cricket is my passion and I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
You have misused, I believe.
Hi, I'm Debosmita Biswas.
This is Kunal Kanti Maiti.
I'm Srijoni Paul. This college has given me placement in one of the best companies in US staffing, which is Iconma. I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University. In front of Adamas University. That was the day when I realized how much affection my dad had for me. Moreover, the trust and expectations which he conveyed through a glimpse of his eyes without uttering a single word were so touching. And to my mind, this was the time to start a new life. It was a new day, a new place, new surroundings, which would be leading me to a new journey. Excitement and nervousness were at their peak, as I was going to start everything on my own. Was a little nervous, thinking how this surrounding would accept me. But to my surprise, a tinge of happiness ran within me when strangers became friends. The bond grew stronger with each passing day, and very soon my campus became my second home. Life is always surrounded with lots of queries, and so is your classroom, where you get them answered. And that's how you get an insight into your own self and the subject you study. I was so lucky to be learning everything hands-on, practically in several labs, in workshops, in multiple studios, and through indoor and outdoor activities. Beyond studies, there is another avenue which connects me to my soul, and that is sports. I firmly believe that talent wins a game, but teamwork and intelligence create champions. Always make an effort, even when odds are against you, because I believe that a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes a lot of trust, determination, and hard work to create magic. As you approach the end of your journey on the campus, examination will test your memory and application, whereas life will test your actual learning. And finally, you see all your hard work creating a new reality. The results you achieve will be in direct proportion to the efforts you put in. I want to thank you with all my heart for all the faith, hope, and belief you had in me, for all the strength you gave me to face challenges with confidence, along with the wisdom to choose my battles carefully. Today on this day, all my efforts and results are for you. You have been the pillar of my dreams and will always be. And to my alma mater, Adamas University, I can never thank you enough for making me a man out of a boy and a professional out of a student. I will remain a lifelong learner.
I'm proud to be part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
Biosciences and technological developments based on biology, including entrepreneurship in this sector, are on the rise in India. We are home to many developments in all forms of biotechnological products with applications in food, nutrition, healthcare, packaging, etc. The unique BTech and BSc programs in Adamas School of Biosciences and Biotechnology are path-breaking academic innovation in this sector. Welcome to the world of biotechnology. As India aims for $5 trillion economy, the nation needs a large pool of trained economists and commerce graduates, focusing on taxation, macro and microeconomics, etc. Adamas School of Economics and Commerce is in the mission preparing finance and economics professional to lead this journey with value-added modules on the stock market and big data. Global society of nearly 8 billion people with 1.3 billion in India is going through a churn, be it politics, economics, history, society, international relations, or in the literary expressions. There are major movements, growth initiatives, new literary trends, and the social issues rising in various parts of the world. Hence, the need to have an in-depth, perceptive education of liberal arts which encompasses all of these. Welcome to the Adamas University School of Social Sciences. It is important to be on the right side of the law and even more important to ensure justice for all. The Adamas School of Law and Justice firmly believes in this dictum. With moot courts, national and international seminars, debates and initiatives of various type, the law school offers integrated courses with BBA, BCom and BA as well, with different focus areas. With a 24-hour work culture, Adamas School of Management prepares professionals for marketing, human resources, finance, supply chain management, and pharmaceutical management for the new Indian economy targeting $5 trillion annually. Close association with several top corporate houses and intellectual talent in the classroom, the school is proud to have one of the highest placement records in East and the Northeast India. A top-class hands-on engineering and technology education with high emphasis on soft skills, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence learning, the Adamas School of Engineering and Technology is a trailblazing institute. It integrates learning in the classroom with the laboratory, workshops, and the factories or the corporate offices. It is also associated with several universities in the world. Education today is changing the traditional chalk and talk method into new age experiential learning. New techniques like flipped classroom, case study method, and increasingly higher component of learning by doing are changing the game. Also, evaluation processes are evolving from just semester end exam to continuous evaluation, jury judge practical work, life projects, and whatnot. Adamas School of Education prepares these new age teachers for schools and colleges of India.
Capstone project is almost like of independent project management from scratch to a product. The evolution of a product through and you learn and practice as you grow, and all that you have learned in the classroom, in the laboratory, you actually bring in the essence of it to complete your project. It's a fabulous concept because it adds an immense value to the CV of a budding engineer, and tomorrow at the corporate level this can be placed as a portfolio item, as something that someone has developed it over experience. So thereby beautiful mind brings learning to learn, and capstone project brings experiential learning, both clubbed together, combined together in the classroom system of the usual traditional engineering education, and also laboratory practice as well, and thereby evolves a 360 degree to the engineer. Yes, there is one aspect remaining, that is a social commitment and an emotional intelligence. How do you develop these aspects? And that will make the entire learning 360 degree in the real sense.
So let me talk about our EQ labs. So this is one of the key aspects that we have added in recent times into our curriculum. A lot of you know that there are a lot of soft skills. So we typically refer to what these are called as soft skills, right? Now there is a different view towards all of this. Emotional quotient, or EQ, is considered to be actually the more important than IQ to achieve success in life. IQ gives you the basis by which you move ahead, but EQ actually creates the edge. It actually gives you the tools and the methods by which you can really be successful. So from those perspectives, there is a view that these should actually not be called soft skills, but these are actually the hard skills that you need in today's world to be successful in this competitive world of today. Now, what is EQ, right? Let's understand that to start with. So EQ is the ability that you have in order to understand other people, in order to understand what motivates them and how to work collaboratively with others. So these are all the different aspects. There are actually 5 different steps in what we cover in our EQ program. So this is a mandatory program for all the engineering aspirants and all the students of engineering for us. We cover 5 different aspects, as I said. One is self-awareness, which is all about confidence development. The second one is self-regulation, which is about how you handle emotions and how you handle situations which are emotional in nature. Thirdly is about motivation, which is about your attitude and your commitment towards what you are doing. Fourthly, it is about empathy, which is where you are able to recognize how others feel and respond to that particular situation. And fifth is about your social skills, which is all about communications and being able to collaborate with others in the work situations. So we have designed our course in such a manner that it covers all these 5 aspects of emotional quotient, and you get to do this and experience this through some very interesting activities. For example, you get to do a movie making. So you work together in teams, create a movie, shoot a movie, show it to others. There's a nice little healthy competition happens out there. There are drama sessions, there are debate sessions, there are public speaking sessions, like we have our own version of what you typically know as TEDx, right? So you get to experience all of these very interesting things through what we refer to as EQ labs.
The social responsibility bit of it, you also evolve community outreach and social responsibility sense among the learners, because after all, technology and engineering is in the service of mankind, is in the service of society. What would you take up as the social responsibility bit here?
Absolutely. So as part of the program itself, through one of the summertime experiences, every student gets an opportunity to participate participating in social activities, social responsibility related activities that the university does. So this is a mandatory part of the experience that one has to gather. And there are so many different applications of different projects, even engineering projects, that you can actually, your own projects that you can do through one of our different clubs. So there are more than 20 clubs. We have clubs which are robotic clubs, we have clubs like entrepreneurship club. So we have 20 different clubs where you can actually participate. take one of those learnings and try and apply it into the community, so that you can, those benefits of having doing those projects can actually be passed on to the community, who can actually use it and get benefit out of it. So it is an experience which is a holistic in nature. So not that you learn engineering and technology, but that you also get to learn to do this thing hands on, but also actually extend that and apply it to the community, to develop your own social inclusive development.
Great. That brings to a holistic understanding of the new age engineering education, where education is not just confined to the classroom, but actually takes multiple shapes through self-learning, through experiential learning, through social learning, and through collective learning, as EQ also entails. Going ahead, if we go department by department, so there are certain new developments in every field of engineering, and it's being reflected in education. Some universities and institutes can do it faster, quicker, and some might be slower as well. And AICTE and the Government of India are quite open to newer dimensions of engineering being integrated with engineering education of the past, which is the vanilla engineering education. So if you look at the most preferred field of computer science, what are the specialized areas that you are looking at? What value additions, I mean not just value additions, what focused newer trends in education you are bringing in your traditional computer education, if you just focus on computer education?
So as you rightly said, the computer education is one of the very key aspects that many students I really want to pursue. So as part of that, we have, for the 4-year BTech program, we have introduced 3 specializations in computer science education. So those are namely artificial intelligence and machine learning as one of the specialization. Then we have blockchain as a second specialization, blockchain technology as a second specialization, and thirdly we have the cyber security and forensics. So these are the 3 specializations that has been created for computer science education.
With respect to civil engineering has been one of the most traditional engineering domains. I mean, houses and constructions have been there from times immemorial, but today civil engineering is also taking some modern trends, changes, particularly in terms of knowledge society. So what are the latest trends in civil engineering that you have brought within the ambit of your education here?
Just before we go to civil engineering, I thought I will slightly dig deeper into the different aspects of computer science engineering
Please
that we
do.
have. So let me start with artificial intelligence and machine learning. So AI ML, as all of you know, or as we call it in a short form, AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, is basically the big change that has happened in recent times in the area of computer science. There is a huge demand of engineers who are having the understanding and the deep understanding of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies, and almost every industry nowadays is adopting artificial intelligence and machine learning, starting from health to the manufacturing industry, to education, to the very different industries who have taken up sectors, who have taken up AI and ML as one of the key aspects to support their their automation, their processes, their decision making, and so on and so forth. So through our AI ML program, the student develops skills to actually discover patterns in data, right? So that's one of the key things. So for example, there is huge amount of data that comes up. How do you actually understand what that data means? What does a particular pattern mean? And you also need to, once you have understood what a particular pattern means, you actually learn how to predict the next step based on what this pattern, based on all this understanding of these patterns, right? That in a very simply put in a nutshell is what you get to learn in AI ML in terms of analyzing trends and helping different industries solve different kinds of problems, trying to predict what might come next based on the patterns that we are seeing today. For AI ML, the opportunities are huge. There is smart maintenance, there is better product development, there are in healthcare, in finance, in different kinds of startups today, lot of applications of AI ML are happening. this is the place to be in computer science, and highly active as per the Gartner hype cycle. This has been there in the top end of it, in the highest demand, and it's going to be in demand going forward. This is one of the fundamental things that is there in computer science as of today. Moving on to the next aspect, which is in computer science, which is the cyber security and forensics. The cyber security and forensics, this whole field deals with the area of solving problems relating to data and network security. We all hear there are a lot of cyber attacks coming from different countries. Suddenly one day one of the websites gets hacked, and instead of the data in that website that is supposed to be there, you see something coming out there which may be derogatory in nature, is not something that you really like to see. All those things happen. So everyone now, every industry, starting from banks to government agencies to every other corporates and public sector entities, they really want to protect their brand and identity and their offering. They protect their data from such hackers, right? So that is one of the basic things that you get to learn. So what you get to learn when you are studying cyber security and forensics is you get to learn cryptographic algorithms. You get to learn message and web authentication and security issues. You understand the legal issues related to information security. So you get exposure of all of these different aspects. I was talking about that. All the industries nowadays are using that. You may hear that there are things like NOC and SOC. What are NOC? NOC is a network operating center and SOC is a security operating center. So for example, for a government department would typically have, or a government a state government would typically have, or a central government would typically have a security operations center who are a set of very specialized cyber security and forensic specialists who will be there applying a number of algorithms, using a number of tools, so that they can protect the particular the systems and the data that the government has. As an example, government or a corporate for that matter has, so that hackers do not get advantage to actually change it, tamper with it, or destroy the information that is out there, right? So this is something, jobs like security analysts, security architects, cryptographers, security consultants, they are very high demand in today's world, and the user base and the industries whose name is omnipresent. Each and every industry is looking at it. Let me move to the third specialized area, which is the blockchain. Blockchain technology, some of you may have heard about the term called the cryptocurrency or the Bitcoin, right? It was interestingly in India, it was not cryptocurrency was not an allowed form of currency for some time, transaction for some time, but recently there were changes which has really positively impacted this particular area. Blockchain technology is the underlying technology that lies under that Bitcoin, what we refer to as cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins, right? So this is basically a technology which helps you to keep that data distributed into many places, but at the same time keep it very secure, while still being distributed and protected, right? Microsoft, IBM, and many of the large technology stalwart companies, technology biggies as we refer to them, have significantly invested in this technology, in blockchain technology, and they are in this blockchain technology, a lot of developments are happening. For example, in governments, blockchain technology is being used for health data, like for example, a patient going to whichever hospital across the state, that person's data can be available on this blockchain fabric, so that the data is securely and in a protected manner available to all the different health centers. So that's an example of how it can be used. So very interesting applications, right? While going through this program, you basically learn to know how to do new development, how to use this development platform, and understand all the different applications of blockchain, in the domain of e-governance and other such contract information mechanisms. So that these are the three major programs in the BTech 4-year BTech course in engineering. In addition to that, in computer science, we also have the BCA program, that is a 3-year BCA program. We have introduced two very interesting variants of the BCA program with us, which are the new generation BCA programs as we are referring to. NASSCOM estimates that the Indian gaming and animation industry will be worth close to almost 2000 crore rupees over in the next 7 to 10 years time, if not sooner. Now that tells us that the kind of demand for computer specialists who have sectoral and understanding specifically on the gaming and animation industry, how important it is going to be. So we have created and offering a program which is a BCA program with specialization in gaming and animation. So in this particular program, you will get to learn many aspects in the area of virtual reality, in the areas of interactive simulations, in the area of using different tools which are used in gaming and animation, which are which are basically taught in addition to the core computer programming, computer applications skills area. So it's basically you have a fundamental BCA course, and on top of that you have an additional specialization on this particular sector. Similarly, you have another sector where we have added a new course on. Next to the in IT industry, which is the largest recruiter of software professionals in this country, the next largest industry which recruits software professionals is the financial services industry. So the banks, the insurance companies, the asset management companies. So hence, to address that requirement, we have added a specialized program which is again the BCA with a specialization in the financial services industry and financial services technologies, which basically through which you get to learn the different technologies and tools that are used in the banks, the insurance companies and the asset management companies, things like core banking systems, things like core insurance platforms, things like asset management platforms and wealth management platforms. So that gives you the added edge on top of being somebody who understands software applications and computer applications, the understanding of that particular domain, and we are offering it in two sectors which appear to be the one of the two key sectors which will be recruiting a significant number of software professionals going forward in the near future.
Great. That makes a big difference in the world of computer science. Computers and learning computers is a fad, but the way you have brought in newer dimensions make it a very high focused and a course with an edge, and we look forward to the new generation of learners in computer science. Yes, the other aspect that we were raising was of civil engineering, which is one of the most traditional areas of engineering in the world. It has been there for decades and centuries. Construction has been there from times immemorial. So what are the latest trends you are bringing in the field of civil engineering to make it contemporary and futuristic?
So as you rightly said, civil engineering is an area which is one of the key pillars of engineering education, and has been a key pillar of engineering education for many years, since the beginning. Some interesting developments have happened, as you know, in the recent years in India itself. So you know that there are more than 100 smart cities that were given to the projects were started by the government of India. So more than 100 smart cities, and they are in the journey to develop cities which are integrated with information communications technology or ICT. So ITC is getting added with the city services, so that the cities are being called smart. Now there is a lot of, as you know, because of this there is a lot of focus on smart infrastructure development, right, which involves deep integration between computing and infrastructure. So to keep track of that, in order to create students who are ready to face that particular, or ready to take up all these challenges and ready to capitalize on the opportunity that comes up because of all these smart city developments, and this first 100 is only the start. There is going to be lots and more of such cities which will come on board. So we have introduced this very interesting program, which is the BTech 4-year BTech program with civil engineering with specialization in smart infrastructure management. So through this program you get to learn a lot of interesting subjects. So some of the interesting courses which are part of it are you get to learn rural and urban planning. Of course there are subjects around engineering for earthquakes, concrete tech, solid waste management, remote sensing and GIS, intelligent waste management, smart materials. You get to learn about pollution, environmental pollution to be very specific, and application of artificial intelligence in smart infrastructure management. So, you know, this is a program that, as I said, bridges the computing with civil engineering. So, this is a program that is fundamentally a civil engineering program, takes it one step above, by doing smart infrastructure management, which incorporates the elements of computing to it, thus making it a very relevant program for somebody coming out with a civil engineering degree to get right into the the smart cities program. The India is, has already gotten on board and will be doing it more in the future.
Smart infrastructure, that's the key word. Smart infrastructure that blends, that integrates, that converges traditional civil engineering with modern computing and creates the basis or the foundation of a smart city. And that's what is futuristic for civil engineering. For all those guys who thought that civil engineers, their jobs are gone, here is a new vista for you, opening up for you. And you need to open your eyes to actually understand this deeper. And Mr. Bhowmick has actually delved quite reasonably deep into this short interview to explain how civil engineering can be made futuristic in times of smart city.
Hey, welcome to Adamas. My research is on my way. I am very much proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Cricket is my passion and I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
You have misuse, I believe.
Hi, I'm Debosmita Biswas.
This is Kunal Kanti Maiti.
I'm Srijoni Paul. This college has given me placement in one of the best companies in US staffing, which is Iconma.
I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
In front of Adamas University. That was the day when I realized how much affection my dad had for me. Moreover, the trust and expectations which he conveyed through a glimpse of his eyes without uttering a single word were so touching. and to my mind. This was the time to start a new life. It was a new day, a new place, new surroundings, which would be leading me to a new journey. Excitement and nervousness were at their peak, as I was going to start everything on my own. Was a little nervous, thinking how this surrounding would accept me. But to my surprise, a tinge of happiness ran within me when strangers became friends. The bond grew stronger with each passing day, and very soon, my campus became my second home. Life is always surrounded with lots of queries, and so is your classroom, where you get them answered, and that's how you get an insight into your own self and the subject you study. I was so lucky to be learning everything hands-on, practically in several labs, in workshops, in multiple studios, and through indoor and outdoor activities. Beyond studies, there is another avenue which connects me to my soul, and that is sports. I firmly believe that talent wins a game, but teamwork and intelligence create champions. Always make an effort, even when odds are against you, because I believe that a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes a lot of trust, determination, and hard work to create magic. As you approach the end of your journey on the campus, examination will test your memory and application, whereas life will test your actual learning. And finally, you see all your hard work creating a new reality. The results you achieve will be in direct proportion to the efforts you put in. I want to thank you with all my heart for all the faith, hope, and belief you had in me, for all the strength you gave me to face challenges with confidence, along with the wisdom to choose my battles carefully. Today on this day, all my efforts and results are for you. You have been the pillar of my dreams and will always be. And to my alma mater, Adamas University, I can never thank you enough for making me a man out of a boy and a professional out of a student. I will remain a lifelong learner.
I'm proud to be part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
Biosciences and technological developments based on biology, including entrepreneurship in this sector, are on the rise in India. We are home to many developments in all forms of biotechnological products with applications in food, nutrition, healthcare, packaging, etc. The unique BTech and BSc programs in Adamas School of Biosciences and Biotechnology are path-breaking academic innovation in this sector. Welcome to the world of biotechnology. As India aims for $5 trillion economy, the nation needs a large pool of trained economists and commerce graduates, focusing on taxation, macro and microeconomics, etc. Adamas School of Economics and Commerce is in the mission preparing finance and economics professional to lead this journey with value-added modules on the stock market and big data. Global society of nearly 8 billion people with 1.3 billion in India is going through a churn, be it politics, economics, history, society, international relations, or in the literary expressions. There are major movements, growth initiatives, new literary trends, and the social issues rising in various parts of the world. Hence, the need to have an in-depth, perceptive education of liberal arts which encompasses all of these. Welcome to the Adamas University School of Social Sciences. It is important to be on the right side of the law and even more important to ensure justice for all. The Adamas School of Law and Justice firmly believes in this dictum. With moot courts, national and international seminars, debates and initiatives of various type, the law school offers integrated courses with BBA, BCom and BA as well, with different focus areas. With a 24-hour work culture, Adamas School of Management prepares professionals for marketing, human resources, finance, supply chain management and pharmaceutical management for the new Indian economy targeting $5 trillion annually. Close association with several top corporate houses and intellectual talent in the classroom, the school is proud to have one of the highest placement records in East and the Northeast India. A top-class hands-on engineering and technology education with high emphasis on soft skills, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence learning, the Adamas School of Engineering and Technology is a trailblazing institute. It integrates learning in the classroom with the laboratory, workshops, and the factories or the corporate offices. It is also associated with several universities in the world. Education today is changing the traditional chalk and talk method into new age experiential learning. New techniques like flipped classroom, case study method, and increasingly higher component of learning by doing are changing the game. Also, evaluation processes are evolving from just semester end exam to continuous evaluation. Jury judge practical work, life projects, and whatnot. Adamas School of Education prepares these new age teachers for schools and colleges of India. With a 2% share of the India's GDP, the media industry is growing faster than India's GDP. And with the world's largest number of films and television channels, it is the national informer and entertainer. With more than 1,000 films a year, cinema is our soft power. News, entertainment, brand communication, we lead Asia in all. And a multi-skilled multimedia talent is being trained in the Adamas School of Media and Communication. Pharmaceutical technology is on the rise in India in particular and Asia in general. And newer research in medicine is modernizing the sector immensely. We in India have the fastest growing pharma sector in the developing world today. Adamas School of Pharmaceutical Technology, with its superb and detailed laboratory facilities, has one of the best pharma schools in the nation waiting to welcome you. With a 24-hour work culture, Adamas School of Management prepares professionals for marketing, human resources, finance, supply chain management, and pharmaceutical management for the new Indian economy targeting $5 trillion annually. Close association with several top corporate houses and intellectual talent in the classroom, the school is proud to have one of the highest placement records in East and the Northeast India.
ভালো রোজগার, কাজের স্বীকৃতি, স্বপ্নের চাকরি, এগুলোর জন্য কি শুধুই কঠোর পরিশ্রম যথেষ্ট? না, এটা পড়াশোনা এবং প্রফেশনাল ট্রেনিং এর একটা কম্বিনেশন। তাই যে এমন একটি কলেজ বা ইউনিভার্সিটি যেটা এই দুটোরই গ্যারান্টি দেয়, যেমন অ্যাডামাস ইউনিভার্সিটি। এখানে ছাত্ররা শুধু পরীক্ষায় দারুণ নম্বরই নয়, সঙ্গে পায় দুর্দান্ত প্লেসমেন্ট এবং কর্মজীবনের প্রয়োজনীয় দক্ষতা। তাই আজই নিজেকে রেজিস্টার করো অ্যাডামাস ইউনিভার্সিটির অ্যাডমিশন টেস্টে আর এগিয়ে যাও একটা উজ্জ্বল ভবিষ্যতের দিকে।
We move on to electronics, and that's very related to computers and even smart cities as well. Electronics and communications, including telecommunications. So what's latest in this domain? How can you value add to traditional vanilla electronics or EC courses?
Absolutely. So that's a very interesting question, and I will start with something which is very relevant in today's world, which has changed for some time now. We already know that the data is what is referred to as the new oil. So, which is basically, that data is what drives everything today. Like oil used to be said that oil is something that drives everything in the world. So, people now very nicely say that data in today's world is the new oil. Everything runs on data.
Yes.
Where does this data come from? It comes from human beings. It comes when data created by human beings that we generate. We enter the data in the systems and thus are there stored in systems, or the data is generated by machines or things, as we refer to it, right? Objects like let's say our AC, our fridge, our car, different machines, all of them generate data. So, these are what is referred to as the things, and as rightly so, these things are getting connected more and more.
Right.
Why do we connect these things together? Because we want to get the data out of these things, we want to make sense of what this data says, and we want to take decision based on that and act on it, right? So, here comes what is the new thing and new aspect, which is called the Internet of Things, or in short you will hear that is being called IoT, Internet of Things, right? So, this is one of the major changes that has happened, and there is a lot of applications that are happening out there. I will give an interesting example. So, in some of the foreign developed countries, there is a linkage between the car manufacturers and the insurance companies.
Right.
The insurance companies have got an agreement with the car manufacturers, where the car manufacturers are installing sensors in the cars which are actually collecting data of your driving habits, and that data is being passed on to the car insurance companies, by which they can actually decide what will be the next insurance premium. If you are a very good driver, your premium will come down. And how do you know it is a very good driver? By actually gathering data of how fast you are driving, how quickly you are accelerating, or how quickly you are stopping the car, how quickly you are braking. Okay. All of those factors put together, the insurance company is able to understand how good or a bad driver you are, and based on that the premium changes. So, you see such very interesting application of sensors, of IoT devices is coming into the world of business, and hence we have created this program, which is specialization in ECE, which is around IoT, Internet of Things. You get to learn about many of these different subjects in terms you learn the theories and the hand-on applications of embedded programming, the different mechatronic systems, mobile robotics and drones. So, you get to learn all of this. So, these specializations in the ECE domain like IoT and robotics, you get to learn all of these different things and the applications. In today's world, the robotics and IoT goes hand in hand, and it is used across industries in manufacturing, in nuclear science, in sea explorations, in the designing of bio equipments, in the servicing of communication systems. Lot of big companies, big names, global names like Lockheed Martin, ABB, Raycon, and many Japanese firms who have been the Japanese giants who are really invested into robotics are offering their services, have built up capabilities in India, and are looking for specialized and experts around this area. So, this is one of the major areas, as I said, in the IoT and the robotics areas, which are being offered as specialization on top of the electronics and communications engineering. Our robotics has been there. Has been there in big focus. We have a robotics club which is of national repute. This robotics club actually does a lot of award-winning work. The students who are working in the robotics club in Adamas has been doing a lot of award-winning work. They have done a lot of new product designs, a lot of innovations. So, this is something as part of our robotics and IoT course project you can of course experience in Adamas University.
Great. That brings to light how co-curricular activity of a club nature is actually supporting and substantiating the work of academics as well. So, as is rightly said, data is the new oil, and what human behavior at different levels is captured through big data. Similarly, things or products or commodities, how they are used and what they behave is also captured, and both of them, this together can lead to certain analysis, make sense of this data, and then take decisions and act upon those decisions. What a beautiful and scientific way of looking at things, and bringing computer science again in close communion, close convergence with electronics and communications. Moving to the next field, electrical power. Electrical and power has been another major aspect, and modern civilization has grown on the shoulders of power. Though it started from steam, then to coal and many other, and today we have multiple sources of power, conventional and non-conventional. So what new trends are you bringing in your study of electrical engineering?
In electrical engineering, electrical again is known as one of the the major pillars of engineering studies of today's world, and historically as well. One of the big changes that has happened in the studies of electrical engineering is a significant focus towards what is referred to as sustainable energy. Now, what is sustainable energy? Sustainable energy is a form of energy that meets the demand of today without necessarily putting in the strain and the danger of getting finished. So, oil, for example, is going to be finished. So, we know that there is a specific timeline which scientists tell us that the oil will not be available for us after that time. So, we look for alternative energy sources which are sustainable, which do not get depleted so quickly, and can be it's renewable, as people say. So, the demand for such sources of power has been ever increasing. So, we know that things like solar, wind energy, geothermal energy, which comes from volcanoes, right? You are aware geothermal energy is something where you tap into the energy source of the volcanoes and use that to generate power.
Yes.
Then hydropower, and then ocean energy, which basically works on the waves generating power, but the ocean waves generating power, by which you can actually use it for domestic purposes. Similarly, the big area which is there today now in focus is the solar energy, right? Now, there is a lot of focus in this specialized course that we have created for electrical engineering. There is a lot of focus that we have created on this solar energy component. And why? You will notice that in today's world, a lot of even the housing complexes that you see are getting into agreements with solar companies, where they are creating a solar grid, solar farm, which is generating power, some amount of power for the complex itself, and then if there is excess, they are giving it back to the grid, so that it can be used by others who are in need, right? So, this has even started. So, a lot of big companies, they are doing it. A lot of big companies in the the factory sheds, you will find that there are solar panels being used. Big solar installations are happening. As I talked about, even housing complexes are doing it. There is a big demand of solar, and it is coming. It is really growing fast. And as we speak at this time, solar energy is much more competitive than the conventional sources of energy in terms of pricing at this time, and hence the adoption is also growing, and the government is also wants the adoption to grow, and they are supporting this particular initiative. So, this creates the opportunity for us to create this program called the sustainable energy specialization on electrical in the domain. Great. So, the students, what you will learn is that you will learn about energy storage, you will learn about solar energy engineering, photovoltaic system designs, and so on and so forth. So, this is a very interesting program that has been created, which is keeping in mind the demand that is today, and is going to only grow exponentially tomorrow.
Great. And we have often been told that non-conventional energy are those which are actually sustainable. In fact, solar or sun as the source of energy has been there even before the origin of civilization. So, therefore, the conventional energy should have been solar, conventional energy should have been water, tidal, biomass, wind, because these have been there even before mankind appeared. Unfortunately, we have turned the fossil fuels as the source of conventional energy. It's good that we are waking up to it, though it's quite late, but it's not, everything is not gone yet. Sustainable energy is the future. There are several countries in the world which are moving decisively towards sustainable energy. I must mention here, 93% of vehicles in Israel do not run on fossil fuel. but on alternative energy sources. I have seen almost 5 out of every 10 buildings in Nepal have solar panels on their roofs, and consumers' personal consumption of power to a large extent, there is alternate, both the powers are there, the regular electricity power coming from hydel and the solar power as well, and a large part of the consumers' personal use or consumption of power is through solar energy. There are homes, I am told in Poland 40% of homes runs on solar power. There have been changes happening across the world, and it's high time that such a movement becomes the dominant one, and Adamas adopting sustainable energy as a source of futuristic electrical engineering learning is a great pointer towards that future. The last area, but never the least, and one of the pillars of engineering education again, is mechanical engineering. And what are your latest trends and focus areas in education of mechanical engineering?
In the design, as we call it, is going to be one of the core for all engineering, and more companies will be looking for people with design skills. So design is coming as one of the very fundamental requirement for engineers who are going to hit the world of industries. So design is going to be one of the most sought after skills, as I say. So keeping that in mind, we have created a specialized program in mechanical engineering in the honors program, 4-year BTech honors program, which is mechanical engineering with specialization in design.
Great.
This particular course prepares students to apply the concepts of design in manufacturing, in engineering management, and in marketing. So it's a very holistic course that not only as a fundamental you learn all the aspects of mechanical engineering, but it takes you to the next level by taking you through a lot of very interesting courses like design modeling, finite element analysis, mechanical systems design engineering, engineering failure analysis, thematic design and industrial design, along with exposure to a lot of modeling softwares, right? So all of them put together, it actually creates an engineer, a mechanical engineer who has an edge, and in today's world we know that there are a lot of design companies who are coming up. There is a lot of focus on ergonomic design, there is a lot of focus on product design, there is a lot of focus on process design. So Industry 4.0, as involves a lot of different, all these aspects of design that come together in the interconnected world, right? So for that, keeping that in mind, we have created this particular specialization called mechanical engineering with specialization in design engineering.
Great. That's another modern futuristic area for that matter. In the last 4-5 months, pandemic has ravaged the world. What I understand from what you have said so far on the 5 areas of engineering, how that futuristic trends are being captured in what education you are providing, how do you account for the impact of COVID pandemic on job market, especially in engineering and technology, and how are you gearing up to it? Yes, all the specializations and the new areas that you have spoken are actually futuristic post-COVID times. But would you like to note what would be the impact of COVID on the engineering job market, and how are you capturing that impact or the changes within the course?
So, well, this is a very interesting question, and very much I would say a debated question in today's world. So, I would like to talk about one aspect which we believe that we have been able to embed and in our course, in the structure of how we have created our programs and how they are offered, which is going to help our students when they face the world in the post-COVID situation. You will see there will be a lot of dependence on what we refer to as digital going forward in every aspects of life.
Right.
And so it is going to be in the industries where our engineers are going to work. Their work will essentially be driven more and will be transformed more, where digital will come into play much more than what it used to be yesterday.
Right.
So this is something on all our courses and curriculum in the program that we have created. There is a lot of focus already which we had already thought of and created such programs, which creates the engineer of tomorrow who actually believes in digital and use of digital in what they do, in wherever they do it, right? So that is going to really help the engineer of the future as far as our course curriculum is concerned in the post-COVID world.
Digital transformation is here to stay in the post-COVID world. And computing and computer science is not just another domain, not just another job, not just another industry, but at the foundation of any and every job or profession in the future that is coming up ahead. So, IT-enabled services will be there everywhere. And Adamas, by bringing in futuristic trends in the engineering fields into its course, and integrating them with the digital transformation happening all around, is modernizing education in the field of engineering technology like never before. I really appreciate and thank Mr. Pradip Bhowmick for spearheading this evolution of engineering education at Adamas, bringing in extraordinary concepts, some of which are already practiced world over, some of which are unique here. For example, the capstone project that has been already explained through automated vehicle or aerial robotics and many other similar measures, where a person does a full project from scratch to the finish. Like the concept of beautiful mind, which is learning to learn, how you evolve your skills to self-learn in times when there is no lifetime career, and you may have to evolve and move to different second or third careers also later in life. Through EQ labs and social outreach, by creating people, youngsters, professionals who are strong human beings as well, socially connected, emotionally empathetic, and applying whatever you are learning on campus to the community. What a fabulous way of giving back, even when you are a learner, even when you are still capturing the basics and maybe the advanced technologies of engineering. And moving ahead, how the modern concepts in all 5 areas of traditional areas of engineering have been captured in the new courses of Adamas, whether it's artificial intelligence and machine learning focused course, whether it's cyber security or forensics focused course, whether it's digital marketing or data sciences focused course, all of which are in computer science, whether it's cryptography and blockchain again in computer science. All these are modern, moving ahead, futuristic areas. And then moving further, smart cities, smart infrastructure and remote sensing, GIS, GPS, these areas brought into the world of civil engineering, making civil engineering smarter, futuristic and technologically driven with IT enabled services at the base. And moving further, how IoT and robotics and embedded systems, these have been brought in the field of electronics to make the traditional electronics and communications very futuristic, suitable for the technologies evolving in times to come. And further going ahead, sustainability, be adding a new value to electrical engineering, traditional electrical engineering which we knew of hydel power, of later on coal based power, and these fossil fuels are going down, petroleum based power, and moving to nuclear power, and now moving to sustainable, so-called non-renewable but actually renewable solar, so-called non-conventional but actually renewable solar, wind, tidal and biomass energies for the future. So that's the big futuristic domain, and mankind would be using, and some nations have started using in a major way, blended sources of energy, not dependent on fossil power, coal or hydel power predominantly as we are. And finally, in the field of engineering, the last one, mechanical engineering, bringing in design engineering in the field of mechanical as a specialized area, ergonomics and all of these ergonomics design and all of these within that specialization. All these 5 domains and their specialization areas actually point towards, as rightly told by Mr. Bhowmick, Industry 4.0, industry that moves to the next level, where IT becomes a foundation and several applications, futuristic applications come in various fields. And this technology would revolutionize, these technologies rather, this regime of new technologies would revolutionize engineering of tomorrow. It's a fabulous journey that Adamas has started in the field of engineering technology, spearheaded by the likes of Pradip Bhowmick and Dr. Amitabh Mukherjee and the new Vice Chancellor and many. It's a fabulous journey. And before you conclude, I'd request you to speak about your personal journey, both as an engineer and a consultant, educationally and professionally, and how you have evolved and come into academics to make this big change as it is happening now. Over to you for the last response, your personal journey.
Well, thank you. That's a nice question. I am an engineer by background, electronics and communication engineer, to be very specific. And I have been involved in the very early stages of the IT journey that India experienced very initially, and I have worked through IT. I have experienced the move towards the new e-commerce and the web and the web-based internet-based applications also in the very early stages, when I experienced through one of the pioneer companies who have really pioneered this particular aspect and taken it to and brought it to us in general. So I've experienced that through my initial parts of my career, from where I then moved into the consulting services, where I worked with the likes of PricewaterhouseCoopers and KPMG, who are known as the Big Four consulting houses in all over the world. And I worked with them in India, and I have worked with them for more than 16 years. Between the two organizations, I have actually worked in the areas of transformation, digital transformation, in the areas of e-governance transformation. I worked with many government entities where we have taken them through the journey of from the traditional ways to using the technology and IT in order to get the best things delivered to the citizens. So we have taken all those journeys, and I've also experienced working with many other industry sectors, like in banking and in insurance, to some extent in manufacturing. And then, having experienced such in the consulting journey in these organizations, after that I came over and joined in academics in Adamas University. Adamas University, as you know, is in the very early stages of its journey, 6th year running. And I figured that there's a lot of opportunity where I can actually introduce some of my own experiences in terms of transformation, in terms of how we move a particular organization from its service and quality point of view from point A to point B, and introduce a lot of different new ideas, address the market needs, which I have myself seen what the industry needs, as part of being one of the working with the consulting industry, having the understanding of the next, what is coming next. So we used to come out with a lot of thought leadership papers while in the consulting industry, and so that we applied. So I have the opportunity now to apply those future looking thought processes into the education industry right now. So this is what I have been doing, and it has been a fantastic journey for me. Thank you for that question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pradip Bhowmick. And really, it's a fabulous journey that you had personally, and you are creating now along with the team here for Engineering and Technology School. And the school with 22 new programs, fabulous, 22 new programs across various areas of BTech, BCA, MCA, MTech and BSc as well, shall be creating waves in the field of futuristic technologies and futuristic engineering education. Shall not once again conclude all the areas. It has already been done and explained very well at length by you. We would like to hope that the youngsters who have been watching this, either the full interview or in parts, would look forward to, would delve deeper to understand, start your own learning to learn, understand what are the futuristic trends in engineering and how an engineering college can make a difference in this traditional vanilla areas of engineering today. It's a fabulous journey that you have begun to reinvent, rediscover engineering education. With that, thank you very much for your time.
Hey, welcome to Adamas. My research is on my way. I am very much proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Cricket is my passion and I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
You have misused, I believe.
Hi, I'm Deboshmita Biswas.
This is Kunal Kanti Maiti.
I'm Srijo Nipal. This college has given me placement in one of the best companies in US staffing, which is Iconma.
I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
In front of Adamas University. That was the day when I realized how much affection my dad had for me. Moreover, the trust and expectations which he conveyed through a glimpse of his eyes without uttering a single word were so touching. And to my mind, this was the time to start a new life. It was a new day, a new place, new surroundings, which would be leading me to a new journey. Excitement and nervousness were at their peak, as I was going to start everything on my own. Was a little nervous, thinking how this surrounding would accept me. But to my surprise, a tinge of happiness ran within me when strangers became friends. The bond grew stronger with each passing day. And very soon, my campus became my second home. Life is always surrounded with lots of queries, and so is your classroom, where you get them answered, and that's how you get an insight into your own self and the subject you study. I was so lucky to be learning everything hands-on, practically in several labs, in workshops, in multiple studios, and through indoor and outdoor activities. Beyond studies, there is another avenue which connects me to my soul, and that is sports. I firmly believe that talent wins a game, but teamwork and intelligence create champions. Always make an effort, even when odds are against you, because I believe that a dream doesn't become a reality through magic. It takes a lot of trust, determination, and hard work to create magic. As you approach the end of your journey on the campus, examination will test your memory and application, whereas life will test your actual learning. And finally, you see all your hard work creating a new reality. The results you achieve will be in direct proportion to the efforts you put in. I want to thank you with all my heart for all the faith, hope, and belief you had in me, for all the strength you gave me to face challenges with confidence, along with the wisdom to choose my battles carefully. Today on this day, all my efforts and results are for you. You have been the pillar of my dreams and will always be. And to my alma mater, Adamas University, I can never thank you enough for making me a man out of a boy and a professional out of a student. I will remain a lifelong learner.
I'm proud to be part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
Biosciences and technological developments based on biology, including entrepreneurship in this sector, are on the rise in India. We are home to many developments in all forms of biotechnological products with applications in food, nutrition, healthcare, packaging, etc. The unique BTech and BSc programs in Adamas School of Biosciences and Biotechnology are path-breaking academic innovation in this sector. Welcome to the world of biotechnology. As India aims for $5 trillion economy, the nation needs a large pool of trained economists and commerce graduates, focusing on taxation, macro and microeconomics, etc. Adamas School of Economics and Commerce is in the mission preparing finance and economics professional to lead this journey with value-added modules on the stock market and big data. Global society of nearly 8 billion people with 1.3 billion in India is going through a churn, be it politics, economics, history, society, international relations, or in the literary expressions. There are major movements, growth initiatives, new literary trends, and the social issues rising in various parts of the world. Hence, the need to have an in-depth, perceptive education of liberal arts which encompasses all of these. Welcome to the Adamas University School of Social Sciences. It is important to be on the right side of the law and even more important to ensure justice for all. The Adamas School of Law and Justice firmly believes in this dictum. With moot courts, national and international seminars, debates and initiatives of various type, the law school offers integrated courses with BBA, BCom and BA as well, with different focus areas. With a 24-hour work culture, Adamas School of Management prepares professionals for marketing, human resources, finance, supply chain management, and pharmaceutical management for the new Indian economy, targeting $5 trillion annually. Close association with several top corporate houses and intellectual talent in the classroom, the school is proud to have one of the highest placement records in East and the Northeast India. A top-class hands-on engineering and technology education with high emphasis on soft skills, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence learning, the Adamas School of Engineering and Technology is a trailblazing institute. It integrates learning in the classroom with the laboratory, workshops, and the factories or the corporate offices. It is also associated with several universities in the world.
Want a good job in a big city after college? Then don't skip this ad. For a great professional future, you need college education with hands-on training, smartness, and a network of talented friends. And you'll get it all at Adamas University. Professors at Adamas share their expert knowledge with students and also equip them with industry skills. Register now for Adamas University admission test and take the leap into a bright future.
Hey, welcome to Adamas. My research is on my way. I am very much proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Cricket is my passion and I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
You have misused, I believe.
Hi, I'm Debosmita Biswas.
This is Kunal Kanti Maiti.
I'm Srijo Nipal. This college has given me placement in one of the best companies in US staffing, which is Iconma.
I am proud to be a part of Adamas University.
Pursue excellence. Adamas University.
There's no more intellectual pursuit of knowledge higher than the liberal sciences, which encompass physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, and psychology. Adamas University School of Sciences has seamlessly blended conceptual learning with practice and evolved BSc and MSc courses, leading to research, academic, and corporate careers for the learners. Welcome to the wonderful world of sciences at Adamas University. Pharmaceutical technology is on the rise in India in particular and Asia in general. And newer research in medicine is modernizing the sector immensely. We in India have the fastest growing pharma sector in the developing world today. Adamas School of Pharmaceutical Technology, with its superb and detailed laboratory facilities, has one of the best pharma schools in the nation waiting to welcome you. With a 2% share of the India's GDP, the media industry is growing faster than India's GDP. and with the world's largest number of films and television channels, it is the national informer and entertainer. With more than 1,000 films a year, cinema is our soft power. News, entertainment, brand communication, we lead Asia in all. And a multi-skilled multimedia talent is being trained in the Adamas School of Media and Communication. With a 24-hour work culture, Adamas School of Management prepares professionals for marketing, human resources, finance, supply chain management, and pharmaceutical management for the new Indian economy targeting $5 trillion annually. Close association with several top corporate houses and intellectual talent in the classroom, the school is proud to have one of the highest placement records in East and the Northeast India. A top-class hands-on engineering and technology education with high emphasis on soft skills, emotional intelligence, artificial intelligence learning, the Adamas School of Engineering and Technology is a trailblazing institute. It integrates learning in the classroom with the laboratory, workshops, and the factories or the corporate offices. It is also associated with several universities in the world. Education today is changing the traditional chalk and talk method into new age experiential learning. New techniques like flipped classroom, case study method, and increasingly higher component of learning by doing are changing the game. Also, evaluation processes are evolving from just semester end exam to continuous evaluation. Jury judge practical work, life projects, and whatnot. Adamas School of Education prepares these new age teachers for schools and colleges of India. It is important to be on the right side of the law and even more important to ensure justice for all. The Adamas School of Law and Justice firmly believes in this dictum. With moot courts, national and international seminars, debates and initiatives of various type, the law school offers integrated courses with BBA, BCom and BA as well, with different focus areas. As India aims for $5 trillion economy, the nation needs a large pool of trained economists and commerce graduates, focusing on taxation, macro and microeconomics, etc. Adamas School of Economics and Commerce is in the mission preparing finance and economics professionals to lead this journey with value-added modules on the stock market and big data. Biosciences and technological developments based on biology, including entrepreneurship in this sector, are on the rise in India. We are home to many developments in all forms of biotechnological products with applications in food, nutrition, healthcare, packaging, etc. The unique BTech and BSc programs in Adamas School of Biosciences and Biotechnology are path-breaking academic innovation in this sector. Welcome to the world of biotechnology.
Want a good job in a big city after college? Then don't skip this ad. For a great professional future, you need college education with hands-on training, smartness, and a network of talented friends. And you'll get it all at Adamas University. Professors at Adamas share their expert knowledge with students and also equip them with industry skills. Register now for Adamas University admission test and take the leap into a bright future.